Hello, welcome to part 2 of if you want something different, think something different, do something different. So in part 1, we covered how to want something different, how to get clear on that. Once you've defined what that is, the only way you're going to change that is if you think something different. If your thoughts don't change, your actions aren't going to change, and the want then just becomes an impossible thing. I knew it wasn't going to happen, and it just spirals out of control. So the first letter, T, is take a moment. I know this is hard because we are taught to be busy, 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 and not take a moment for ourselves. That's selfish. That's greedy. And I got to do this for that person, do this for that person, do this for, and you just keep yourself busy. Sometimes we do that on purpose so that we don't have to think about it, because you might get depressed. You might get discouraged at where you are compared to where you want to be. But you're going to have to take a moment and just breathe. You are here. You are alive. God has a purpose for you. And so he will empower you. He will give you a way to accomplish that purpose if you let him. But if you don't think about it and you just push it off to the side, then it's not going to get into motion. So you got to take a moment and go through that want. Take a moment and really think about the hard reality. And that's not fun necessarily, other than you can make it fun. You can decide, all right, let's take a look. This is the hard reality. This is where we are. This is where our finances are. This is where my relationship is with my spouse, with my kids, with God. This is where my health is. You just analyze that. You say, here's where it is, but this isn't permanent. We can change this. The fact that you're alive today means you can make improvements for tomorrow. And so you have to see where that is and recognize that, honor it, release it, that you have gotten to this point right here. You're going to learn everything that I've done in the past has gotten me to this point right here. So what am I going to learn from that so that I can think something different now, so that I don't keep going in this hamster wheel over and over again? We break that cycle and move out and move towards an amazing future. So the hard reality may not be pleasant, but it is important so that you can see where you want to go and why you want to get there. The I stands for your inner circle, and this has a few components to it. Number one would be who you allow to break into this inner circle. Are you allowing people that are thinking good things to move forward, or are you allowing people that want to hold you back and keep you back here in the past? Those people could be your friends, could be your family, could be coworkers. It could be all kinds of different people that you're allowing. You're choosing to let their thoughts, their actions impact your actions on a day-to-day basis. But it's also what thoughts you're allowing from yourself. The Bible says where there is no wood, the fire will go out. But if you keep throwing logs into that fire of worry and stress and fear and anxiousness and all this stuff, then you're just letting this fire rage, instead of saying, nope, I'm not going to allow those thoughts come in, because those thoughts don't help me get there. If you want to take a moment and look at the hard reality and say, okay, my finances are here, I want them to be here. Now take all that energy, instead of worrying about this, come up with a plan to move forward this way. Instead of worrying about all this, which worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. So you want to change that pattern, and that comes from shrinking the inner circle to where you're only going to allow people on the right path, people that are going to help you, propel you on this path towards amazing life. And your thoughts, which thoughts you are going to allow. The next one is probably the hardest 2-letter word, and that is no. You're going to have to say no. You're going to have to say no to your phone, the games that want you to play them. You're going to have to say no to television, or at least minimize it down to a few minutes a day, recognizing if you're using it as a mental break, then don't let that mental break go on for 6 hours, like the average time watched of television every day for the average American. We have to say no. We have to say no to the things that are not moving us on this path to amazing life. It could be gossip. It could be social media. It could be watching the news. It could be all kinds of things, but you recognize that the government is not going to fix your problems. The Republicans aren't. Democrats aren't. That no one is as concerned about your problems as you are. And so you have to shrink that inner circle, say no to the things that aren't moving you forward, because you are responsible for you, for your spouse, for your children, for your relationship with God. No one else is responsible for that. So you have to learn what you're going to say no to that is going to move you on that path. And next is going to be keep the faith on the path, on the right path. Say consciously. Yes, I know it's with a C, but we're talking about K, so I want to just have fun with that. And knowing that this is with the King of Kings. So you have all kinds of Ks there. That is what you have to do with this thought. The Bible says you have to hold every thought captive. You have to train your brain to not allow certain thoughts, and you're going to keep that faith high on the right path. Now, if you're going on the wrong path, if you're going on a way that's never going to get you there, then you can't expect amazing results. But you have consciously kept the faith with this inner circle with the King of Kings. You have an amazing God. And if you get right with him and you're looking at his path, then there's amazing things that can be done, but you have to do your part. If you're thinking lousy thoughts, if you're not even looking at the hard reality here, because the Bible says you have to count the cost. You have to take measure of your flocks and herds. You're supposed to know where you stand. You're supposed to hold captive your thoughts. You're supposed to say no to certain people, certain things, certain activities, certain thoughts, and keep the faith. This is how you think. Now, the opposite of think is amuse. And this may sound familiar, where we say amusement park. Well, the word amuse means to think. And anytime you put an A in front of a word, it changes it to the opposite of this word. So muse is think, A is not. So amuse means not think. And that is what most people do when they get on the television, or they go to an amusement park, or they do something, they read a book that's fiction that's just for amusement. How much time of your day is spent in amusement on a phone or on social media or looking up who knows what instead of thinking? This is not thinking. Letter A stands for apathetic. This means you just get so tired or overwhelmed, you just don't care. Yeah, all that stuff is important, but I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. You just don't care. You have gotten to where you no longer want something bad enough that it's going to change your habits for the day. You just get apathetic. M stands for mistake reality. See, if we don't look at the hard reality, then we live in this mindset that we think everything is okay. We have this denial or this fantasy world where we just think everything's going to be fine, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, the company you worked for downsizes and you lose your job. And now it's, oh, I can't believe this happened to me. Satan is really... But you had no plan to have a backup plan, to build the reserves for amazing life. The best time to get a second income is long before you need it. And so we have this mistaken reality that if we just keep going on this hamster wheel here, that everything will be fine. We have to have that hard reality. U stands for unsatisfied. You are going to be amused, but it's not really that fulfillment when you are living your true purpose. Amusement is okay maybe in little short segments, but if we're supposed to hold captive every thought, we're supposed to be living in our true purpose, then it's just going to be unsatisfying. You're not going to have the fulfillment and joy that you could have when you are really living your true purpose. S is for still stressed. So even though we take this moment to be apathetic and just be amused and not think and be maybe entertained, not thinking about reality, we're not satisfied, and all those stresses that we tried to leave behind are still there. So you're still going to be stressed. So we think we're amusing ourselves so that we decrease our stress. Well, that stress just mounts and mounts and mounts because we didn't do anything to fix the cause of the stress. We just kind of thought, well, if we put it over there and don't do anything, it'll go away. It's not going to go away. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. And yet we just are amused, which is empty. There's this hollowness, similar to being unsatisfied, but it's just empty. You get amused, and then it takes something more to get amused, or it takes 3 hours to be amused, or but it's hollow. It's empty because you're not living in your true purpose. So look at these particular groupings here and decide. If you want something different, you're going to have to think something different, and that's over here. So how much time of your day are you going to do this, and how much time of the day are you going to live over here? Because if you don't make thinking something different a must, then it will be it's impossible to move over here into the future. In the next section, we're going to talk about the last part, part 3, and that is do something different. Because every day you have a choice. You can think something average, maybe even below average, and just be amused, or you can choose to think something amazing. And I say choose amazing.